at different points, we've seen all sorts of varied valuations. And we've seen this when the president has tried to calculate or justify his wealth when he's been discussing his wealth with various magazines as far as his net worth and where he stands in that versus some of his filings while he was president, the value of certain real estate properties and the revenues that he would say that they would make.
Anywhere from $900,000 to $25 million, right, depending on who he was reporting to.
Things volley back and forth. And that's why we are where we are today with respect to these investigations.
It may be a new year, but Letitia James is not letting up on the Trump brigade. The New York Attorney General just subpoenaed 2 of Donald Trump's children. Welcome into TYT's Overruled. I am your host, legal analyst Adrienne Lawrence. After questioning Eric Trump in October of 2020, New York's top prosecutor, Letitia James, just issued subpoenas to former President Trump's 2 eldest children. That's Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump. This is part of her civil probe into the business practices of the Trump organization. Now, both Don Jr. and Ivanka have been deeply involved in their father's company, even though Ivanka took a role in the West Wing when her father took office. As the New York Times reported, when Mr. Trump became president in 2017, he turned the business over to Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, as well as the company's longtime chief financial officer, Alan H. Weisselberg. Things haven't been that great for Mr. Weisselberg recently. In July, he and the Trump organization were both indicted as part of the criminal investigation pursued by New York's now former DA Cy Vance. But back to the Attorney General James's civil investigation. In addition to subpoenaing Ivanka and Don Jr., James also personally subpoenaed Donald Trump. Why? Well, according to the filing, the Trumps have been doing all they can to block James from questioning the former president and his children. Basically, the Trumps are really trying to evade all accountability, and they do not want to answer questions about how they do business. If you recall, Trump is doing his damnedest to block the formidable New York AG from investigating the company. The former Republican president filed a lawsuit last month, arguably a frivolous one, essentially accusing James of misusing her powers to effectuate a partisan Democrat agenda in terms of investigating Trump. James has been leading this investigation of the Trump organization for about 3 years now. Specifically, she's been looking into whether the company fraudulently inflated the values of their real estate holdings in order to secure bank loans, all the while they would essentially reduce the value of that real estate to save on tax liability. There's nothing partisan about these subpoenas here. This is part of the process when it comes to conducting a civil investigation, particularly when it comes to business practices. The fact that the Trumps may not like accountability and may not want to answer questions is a them issue. But also based on their previous actions, I expect the Trumps fully to respond with a non-response, possibly a delay tactic, maybe another frivolous lawsuit filing. Then again, you never know. Eric Trump already spoke to the Attorney General's office, and so his siblings may be inclined to essentially follow in suit. We don't really know, but I'd love to know what you think. Will Ivanka and Don Jr. go ahead and talk, or will they take a page out of their father's book with a delay tactic? You let me know your thoughts below, hit the like and follow button, and thanks for watching.